Unspoken Issues.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unspoken Issues podcast. It is the second episode featuring 96 number ones. That's a number one issue voted on by you, the fans of the Unspoken Decade, on Facebook. For each month of 1996, we're going to lay something out there from Marvel, from DC, Dark Horse, and Image. And you guys are going to have the opportunity to pick which book we are going to be talking about all year for each month. So 30 years ago in February, these number ones hit the shelves. And I threw these into a poll, and I have the poll results here. We have Foxfire number one. We've got It came in second, but it was also tied with an Image book, which was Black and White number one. I do not have the creative teams in front of me. You would think I would have been smart and put all that information here, but Black and White number one.
Art to Bear.
Art to Bear, that's his book. I threw Walter on there from Dark Horse, which, if you guys ever read The Mask, Walter was one of the antagonists in that book, and they did a small mini-series on Walter, and I might have been the only person that voted for Walter, because it got 4% of the vote, and overwhelmingly, with 54% of the vote, Mr. Miracle number one from DC Comics. We are heading into, oh my goodness, what would you call this? New Gods territory, right, Evan Bevins?
Yeah, so what you're saying is this wasn't even close. He wasn't in any danger. He basically got off scot-free.
There it is. There it is. Yes, that is right. Mr. Miracle, scot-free.
Sorry, did you think you could escape the bad jokes?
Chris Armstrong.
No one thought that.
No one thought that. Chris Armstrong, are you a New Gods guy? You never come to me and said, Jesse, we got to talk a New Gods book. So I'm assuming you're just, if you've read anything, it's usually on the fringe. So tell me about your experience with the New Gods and Mr. Miracle and Big Barda and any of that.
Yeah, pretty much just when they show up in JLA is my experience with these characters, outside of, obviously, Darkseid, who's become kind of the big bad of the DC universe. I do have the Absolute Fourth World, Jack Kirby, Volume 1.
Oh, okay.
Which is like where he started all of that stuff. But I think I've maybe read a quarter of the first volume. So not a whole lot of
Fourth World Saga.
It's an eighth.
Well, it was never finished.
Okay.
But of what is completed, I've read about an eighth, I guess.
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot of familiarity with them. I just know they're New Gods, Jack Kirby creations. I know the gist of Orion and Mr. Miracle being swapped at birth and stuff. So
you got a little bit of the foundation there, like the cement that this whole house is built on. I'm right there with you. I'm the same way. I'm probably reading some of their adventures, just like you said, in JLA. I knew of them. I've never really jumped into the Fourth World Saga or any of that, so I am completely out of the loop on some of this stuff, which is a good place to start when it's a number one issue. Hopefully it is. Hopefully you're coming into it and you're like, who are these people? This guy looks cool. Evan Bevins, your thoughts on Mr. Miracle, the Fourth World? What's your thoughts?
Mr. Miracle is by far my favorite New Gods character, but I haven't read a whole lot about him. I met him in the classic Overpower card game and thought he looked awesome. Mm-hmm. And he was a superhero escape artist. I thought that was cool. Had no idea he had anything to do with Darkseid or any of that other stuff till he started popping up until I started reading Justice League stories that I missed the first time around. So I always thought he was a really cool character. I've got most of the Tom King series that's supposed to be really good. I read about him in, I think the only Mr. Miracle comics I regularly bought was in Grant Morrison's Seven Soldiers, when it's a totally different Mr. Miracle. So he's one of those characters that I really like. And then it's like, oh, tell me about Mr. Miracle. And I'm like, well, he seems pretty cool. So, yeah, I am not a Mr. Miracle expert. It's always on I'd like to read some more Mr. Miracle. And then I get distracted by a squirrel holding a shiny object and
a squirrel girl.
X-Men. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I was going to say, is the Seven Soldiers Mr. Miracle the one that he got his inspiration from that they talk about in this issue?
No, this is yet another guy. Although a friend of mine loaned me a trade of some of the early Jack Kirby stories. So I did remember that there was another, that he wasn't the first Mr. Miracle. And actually that guy's had something of a resurgence lately. I believe it was revealed that he was part of the Justice Society Dark.
Ooh.
Because if there's one thing I've learned about comics, it's that whatever happens, there was already an earlier version somewhere, whether it was a caveman or colonial or World War II. Everybody's like the second or third incarnation.
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle's always on my, I really like that guy. I should read more about him. That's why I voted for Mr. Miracle.
Okay. Let me give you the creative team for our book. Written by Kevin Dooley, penciled by Steve Crespo, inked by Marcio Moraes, lettered by Clem Robbins, and colored by Laura Allred. Now, there is something that's really interesting about this creative team, because it is these...
The fact that the colorist is the only one I'm familiar with?
Yeah, me too. I was going to point that out.
Legitimate...
It really sounds familiar, but I can't place anything that I know him from.
Okay, all right, so Kevin Dooley. Now, my notes here are Kevin Dooley, primarily a writer and scripter for DC Comics between 1984 and 96. So he's got quite a bit of time there. That's about 12 years. His credits include significant stretches on titles such as Green Arrow, Mr. Miracle, and the Global Guardian stories in Justice League International Quarterly. But if you look him up on Mike's Amazing World, he's got 25 story credits, and 7 of those are Mr. Miracle. After Mr. Miracle number 7, that's it. There's nothing else credited to him. And then our Steve Crespo, the penciler, he's worked across major publishers in the 90s, including DC, Marvel, and Dark Horse. He is notably credited as the artist for the majority of DC's Anima series and contributed to several Star Wars titles for Dark Horse, such as X-Wing Rogue Squadron. And when you go and pull him up, Steve Crespo, 25 story credits found. He does Mr. Miracle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. He does an issue of Cable, and then by 99, he finishes things out with Star Wars Episode 1, Anakin Skywalker, number 1, and he's done. So, again, another very short career.
Kevin Dooley went on to be an editor at DC. He did more editing than writing.
All right, so he made his way up. He wasn't part of any creating comics. He was editing comics. That's good.
And he left the employ of DC Comics in 1999.
Marcio Moraes, total of 6 credits, according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics. Mr. Miracle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 are 5 of those. The other one was in 95. He did Azrael Annual number 1. He had a story in there called Requiem. And that's it.
Requiem? I hardly know him.
Again, a small amount of credits. Then we get to Clem Robbins. He actually had a really long career. And when you look at Clem Robbins compared to he dwarfs the other 3 that we just talked about. He started in DC in 1977, continued all the way up to 2024. He's most recognized for his extensive lettering on Vertigo, titles such as Preacher, 100 Bullets, Transmetropolitan, as well as deep association with Mike Mignola's Hellboy. So there's Clem Robbins. And then Laura Allred, a renowned colorist, active from 93 to late 2024, frequently collaborating on projects with Mike Allred. She has colored iconic runs on Madman, Ecstatics, and iZombie, and more recently divided colors for prestige DC projects like Superman Space Age and Batman Dark Age. So there you go. That's our creative team. I just thought it was very interesting that our writer, penciler, and inker kind of go on to do something different. They have very small contributions throughout their career. So anyway, so there's our creative team. In Mr. Miracle number 1, Scott Free finds himself caught between his identity as an escape artist and his destiny as a new god, when Orion and the leaders of New Genesis push him to ascend and take a commanding role in their war against Apocalypse. Haunted by a vision at the Source Wall that shows him becoming a cold, unfeeling ruler, Scott rejects the idea of losing himself, even as Big Barda urges him to embrace his fate. During the Ascension ceremony, the Black Racer looming in his old life literally set to be burned away, Scott refuses to submit, donning his Mr. Miracle costume and escaping to Earth through a boom tube. But his escape comes at a cost. Barda is left behind and ultimately struck down during an apocalyptic attack. Her death sensed by Scott even as he lands on Earth. There, he is immediately confronted by a corrupted Justice League, seemingly possessed by the Source itself, leaving Scott trapped, hunted, and desperate to return and save Barda as the issue closes, on a looming new threat.
I want to say thanks, Jesse, for that wonderful, detailed summary of the issue. Very comprehensive. It's great.
Yeah.
I felt like I was reading it again.
Did you guys enjoy the backing music? Because I really put a lot of thought into that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, good.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I kind of felt like Kevin Dooley was
Origin.
just giving us a peek behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah, the backing music, the ska version of Mr. Miracle's Origin, that was awesome.
Let's get into the notes of the issue here. Evan, we'll start with you here, man. What's your notes here for Mr. Miracle number 1?
Well, in the opening, I wondered why he was cosplaying as Cobra.
We're talking Cobra
With a K from DC.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
Not the
It was-
Sylvester Stallone classic?
No, actually not. But I mean, I thought it was like, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with Mr. Miracle's status quo at any point in his tenure, especially not here. But I thought it was a pretty good primer to start off. Like, okay, he's capable. Even in a war setting, he doesn't want to hurt other people. He's protecting them. Orion doesn't like him. I'm very confused about Orion's additional spikes. And B, this afternoon, you'll assume your godhood. I just thought the new gods were gods, hence the name. So I don't know what that means, but I feel like we got a pretty good idea of who Mr. Miracle is. I don't know. The last time I saw the source wall, it was bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's more like the source tile, but yeah, something happened there. So I feel like in the first half of this, we definitely get a good idea of who Scott Free is and what makes him tick and what brought him to this point. After that, I don't know what happened at this point. I was anticipating that the issue would end with them going, hey, this was just the source wall testing you. All this is imaginary. You're not actually fighting the Justice League. Barda hasn't been stabbed. The Black Racer is not a thing. I know he is. But so it's kind of a cool cliffhanger. And somebody says, oh, I'm at a dead end, especially for you, Mr. Miracle. But I don't know. I feel like this was kind of an incomplete story. Like, it sets the table. I know who Mr. Miracle is. I know he's going to ascend and be a king. And then it has all the makings of this is a dream. It doesn't matter if Big Barda's dead or not because it's comics. She's done a lot since then. So I can't really tell. But yeah, I thought it was a good introduction to Mr. Miracle. But like I tracked this issue down. I think I sent it to you guys at the local comic shop.
Yeah.
And as intrigued as I am with Mr. Miracle, I was not compelled to go, hey, you have the next issue?
Right.
So that's my 1.5 cents
Okay.
on this issue. The cover looks great. I know who he is. I feel like I'm up to speed, but I don't know. Once I got to the starting line, I'm not sure where it went after that. So yeah, I feel like once Scott goes to the Ascension, my money is on all that being a dream sequence or a simulation.
Okay.
Or it could just be that I don't know jack about the new gods.
Well, again, I'm right there with you. I don't know exactly fully what I'm getting into here. I know who Mr. Miracle is. I'm expecting an introduction to this huge cast of characters. There is a lot that you have to learn about Scott, who he is, what his environment is,
They'll be old gods by the time you figure it all out.
There's a lot of lore here that you've got to absorb in this number 1 in 96. So whoever takes this challenge on as a creative team has to be like, okay, I feel like this is the mid 90s. I don't think a lot of people were really digging this. You got Apocalypse. You've got, oh my goodness, what's the other one called? New Genesis?
New Genesis.
And it just felt like they were, if we were bringing Scott Free and into the world of the mid 90s, you're going to have to do a little something more to make me to make me go, okay, I'm in. What is going on here? All right, so my notes here. I love the the use of the name, of course. Scott Free, Mr. Miracle was created in, oh my goodness, I just had it here. I think 71. His first appearance was Mr. Miracle #1 in 1971. So, what a name. That's definitely I feel like a Jack Kirby name for sure, Scott Free. We get the reluctant hero. What kind of theme would you call this, Chris? He doesn't want to be a new god. Like, he doesn't want to be the...
Yeah, he does. He kind of seems to reject all of this stuff, really. But yeah, and I don't think we really get a great explanation as to why he's committing to it.
Right. It's like, okay, well, I guess I got to do it. I'm going to do it.
Family business. I
dig the fact that, we got a vision of the future. Like, he has that before the ascension, right? Mm-hmm. What the future is going to be looking like. And then he just doesn't want to be a new god at all, but he still has to kind of go through with it. My next note was like, the Black Racer. I know the Black Racer. Like, he's on the skis. It's just such a Kirby thing. It looks so goofy, especially for the mid-90s. Like, here's this guy, but he's the Black Racer. Come on.
Yeah, the toboggan doesn't help.
Right.
Really, if you're going to have somebody embodying death represented by an Olympic sport, shouldn't it be the skeleton?
Yeah, I would think so.
I guess he actually doesn't really have the toboggan in this issue. He has like a helmet. But
is it a helmet that he has on? Yeah.
I've seen him in a toboggan. It's too late.
You're not going back. I've seen him in a toboggan. Okay, so I love seeing the boom tube. When the boom tube's open, that's a big deal. And he gets boom tubed to Earth, breaks his mother box. So he's kind of out of luck.
Sounds like a euphemism for something. I don't know what, but...
Never good when you break your mother box. But yeah, he can't. I know that the mother box is a big deal because we all read, was it Superman? Oh my goodness, Superman Doomsday?
Doomsday, Hunter
Prey.
Yeah.
So I know I've seen the mother box used in other things. So that getting broken, big deal. But yeah, the JLA possessed by the Source. Is that what we're thinking here is going on? Like,
that's what he says.
And so you guys called it the Source Wall? Is that what he's attributing it to?
Yeah. They just have a little chunk of it there.
Okay.
I'm so skewed toward Marvel that my first experience with the Source Wall was when Dr. Doom got trapped in it in JLA Avengers.
Now, so what does the Source Wall do?
It's like the border around the known universe or something.
Okay. All right.
Chris, am I right about that?
That seems right. I think it changes depending on who's writing.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All right.
Lately, there have been a lot of stories where they went beyond the Source Wall for the next stage of the universe or pizza or something like that.
Yeah, him getting attacked by the heroes was pretty crazy. And then my other note here was Barda kind of trying to hold her own, and then all of a sudden she gets impaled. And I knew that was a big deal, too, because that's Big Barda. Now,
fun fact, Big Barda was based by Jack Kirby on Lainey Kazan.
And Lainey Kazan is...
Well, she was the mother in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, but before that, she was like a big-time beautiful actress and whatnot.
Okay. All right. Now, are you telling the truth, or are you fabricating things again?
No, I'm telling the truth.
Okay. I just want to make sure that... So that is... By the end of this issue, I'm kind of like what you're saying, Evan. I'm expecting it to be a dream. I'm expecting it to be another vision or something. And, yeah, we don't get that. Like, it seems like everything is happening for real. And where we end it, Mr. Miracle is kind of trying to figure out what he's going to do in order to get back. He's on Earth. He knows that Big Barda's hurt because he says here, it feels like my soul's been ripped apart. He can feel her dying. And then we're at the last page, No Escape from New York. Let me just say, Steve Crespo and Marcio Moraes, I really dig the art. Like, I don't think this is bad in any sense. This is some great, more than serviceable for 96 for sure. I hate to think that their careers, again, I know they moved on to doing something different, but this was a good looking book. So anyway, that is all my notes. Chris Armstrong, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, most of this has been covered already. I was unfamiliar with these creators for the most part. I do really like that 90s ass Orion armor that he's got.
I thought you were using that word to describe Orion. Fair.
Like you guys said, this really felt like a dream sequence once things started going off the rails. We don't see definitively if that's the case in this issue. Maybe they find out that's true or not in future issues. I'll probably never know because I doubt I'll follow up.
Right.
I do wonder, there's the dark side of it all kind of hovering over all this New God stuff. They mentioned how he had been recently killed and then resurrected, which may have only been the second or third time that had happened at this point.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder when Darkseid became like the ultimate DC bad guy. Like, because I don't think that was really the case. He was in the New Gods, and then I think in a Legion, there's the Great Darkness Saga,
Right.
which is a Legion story that he was the bad guy of.
That's like the late 80s that's happening, right? Is the darkness.
Yeah. And then as time has gone on, like kind of like Thanos in Marvel, which that was spurred on mostly by him showing up in the first Avengers movie, but Darkseid has kind of become his counterpart in that way in DC, where he's always like in all the big events, or in a lot of the big events, he's the big bad guy all the time.
Right. Now, I have never sat down and watched what was the Superman. Well, no, it was JLA. Wasn't it like a
Justice League movie?
Yeah, I've never sat down and watched that. Was he like a background character, or was he?
Yeah, he's barely in it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was hinted that he was the problem that was coming next.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, I wonder too. I feel like that was probably something that when you look at the Marvel DC crossover, it's Teen Titans, X-Men.
Yeah.
That's Darkseid's definitely involved there, isn't he?
Him and Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix. That's right. So he's clearly at the top tier. I think when you're using him at a crossover, like a very early crossover. So that's 80s there that's happening. So,
there was one of the Saturday morning cartoons where he was like the recurring villain. He was always trying to marry Wonder Woman. That's where I first
like in a Super Friends.
Yeah, something like that. It was on Saturday, and Cyborg was a big deal in it. I remember that's where I first got to know Darkseid.
I do know Darkseid was kind of the big villain in the Superman animated series and a lot of the JLA animated stuff.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Part of what it might be is just that modern comics, like, it's all about big crossover events, so there's always got to be a big bad guy.
Right.
Maybe Thanos and Darkseid were always... you just didn't see him as often back then because they actually did different smaller type stories and stuff. We didn't get all the ads that Evan was pointing out earlier.
Oh,
yeah.
But
go ahead.
there is an ad at the end. We've got the preview for issue number 2, and then it says at the bottom, have a computer? Got a modem? Free DC Comics Online Starter Kit.
Yes.
Ooh.
And then a phone number. And I was like, wonder what that is. But now if you try and Google that, it's just a million different DC starter kits for different stuff.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. It's all like for modern stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking of Legend.
Yeah, but if you subscribe to 2 comics or more, you could get a free 5-minute phone card.
Ooh.
Man, I'm telling you, 5-minute phone card. 96, I would say like mid 2000s is when long distance just kind of fades away. Like it's not a problem anymore.
Once cell phones became
Right. I can remember like early 2000s, the AT&T 1-800-COLLECT or whatever they were. Those commercials were all over the place, and so it had once cell phones became a thing. Any other interesting ads in the comic book there, Evan, that you feel need to be discussed?
The back cover. Do you have what it takes to be a superhero? And it's a game called Cyber Mage: Darklight Awakening. And yeah, back in 1996, I would have been like, dude, that is amazing. And now, not so much.
Is it
pretty darn pixelized?
Oh, it's a video game. Okay. Wow, 96. That would have been. What did they say? What platforms or what consoles?
PC CD-ROM.
Okay.
Available on PC CD-ROM through Electronic Arts direct sales.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It includes the first issue of the Cyber Mage comic book from the Eden Matrix Press.
There are some games that I have never heard of, and that's one of them. But the cool thing is that somebody played them somewhere on YouTube, and you can go watch. You can usually go and find like some obscure game and watch somebody play it. So I'll have to see if I can find that one. What was it called again? Something Mage?
Cyber Mage.
Cyber Mage. All right.
Darklight Awakening.
So we are about to get into the February 96 issue of Wizard magazine. During recording, I had a conversation about Bob Harras, as there's an article here that talks about Bob taking over Marvel Comics. And needless to say, when I recorded, I wasn't exactly fully prepared. So I'm going to shorten the 5-minute conversation that we had into a small paragraph here, and then we'll get on with looking at the rest of Wizard magazine and having a good time. So, Marvel's at a turning point here. They're at the start of a major turning point in 1996. Bob Harras is coming in as editor-in-chief, and even though a lot of the huge stories people associate with 1996, like Onslaught and Heroes Reborn, and eventually Marvel's bankruptcy, they haven't fully happened yet. You can kind of see the groundwork being laid, though. Bob Harras is presented as a new voice with big ideas. But what makes it fascinating in hindsight is knowing just how turbulent the rest of that year is going to be. He's tied to major creative decisions like helping shape the bridge to Onslaught and the Heroes Reborn experiment, where Marvel handed some of the biggest books over to Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld Studios, which understandably created some tension inside the company. So when Wizard is talking about Harras in early 96, it's really capturing the beginning of a period where Marvel is trying to reinvent itself while the entire comics industry is struggling. All right, let's get on with our further discussion of some of the fun stuff that we found in the February 1996 edition of Wizard Magazine. Here's the casting call. Do you guys want to take a look? Do you guys got comments?
I've always got time for Hunter.
All right. Yes, Hunter. It's true. So this is casting call. They're casting the Dark Knight Returns movie. And again, this is February 96. So their first initial thought is, well, who's going to be Batman? We need an older guy, still big dude. And Fred Dreyer used to play football. I remember that being a thing. But he was definitely known as Hunter and the Hunter TV series. So can't...
Little did we know the closest we would come is Ben Affleck.
Who's Carrie Kelly Robin there?
Someone kind of cute, yet no nonsense. Should be our young Robin actress. How about Anna Klumsky from My Girl?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Has she done stuff recently at all?
She was on Veep, the Julia Louis-Dreyfus show.
Okay.
That show's really funny.
Okay. All right. Two-Face they are suggesting they want Ed Harris.
I see it.
I almost thought that was Matt Frewer. Is that his name? The guy.
It does kind of look like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Commissioner Gordon, they want Sam Elliott.
Okay, yeah. From here it looks like Jeff Foxworthy, but
It does.
Might be a corrupt Gotham City police officer.
Superman, this is for the Dark Knight. They wanted a guy by the name of Brad Johnson from Always and Flight of the Intruder.
Okay. I remember those movies.
Yeah. Joker, they wanted Tim Curry. So there's quite a bit to be said there, I think.
Famously the original voice actor for Joker on the animated series.
Right. And now, what was it that Alexis had said? She said that he was was it Tim Curry that was supposedly too scary for...
I would believe it.
I don't know the reasons for why they didn't
Go
stick with him. You can hear some of his audio. I think he did an episode before they recast Mark Hamill.
Did he sound okay?
Yeah, he was good. I think I like Hamill better, but Curry would have been a good one.
Okay. The Mutant Leader, my absolute favorite casting call I think I've ever seen. They are saying Nikita Koloff, which if you guys watched NWA Wrestling, there was a time where Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff were they were enemies. And I think he ends up becoming a good guy at some point. But anyway, Nikita Koloff, a big dude, played a Russian, but I think was like from Chicago or something. It was in Minnesota probably. But that's I'm all right with that for being a mutant leader. They got Jamie Lee Curtis as Captain Ellen Yandel, which it's been a while since I've read The Dark Knight, so I wouldn't be able to tell you one way or the other.
Most of these are just find a picture of a celebrity that looks like this.
Yeah.
That was their process for most of these.
Howard Hessman as Green Arrow, which head of the class, WKRP. That picture does not look like him there, but I guess him being the Green Arrow, I've always thought he was a pretty funny guy. Alfred, they were saying Tony Randall of The Odd Couple. Okay, all right. Then we have Dr.
Well, but could they have also signed him for Alfred Goes Back on the Job or whatever it was we talked about last time?
The return of
Alfred's return.
Alfred's return. Yeah, I remember that. Dr. Wolper, they were saying Gabe Kaplan from Welcome Back, Kotter. That guy, I haven't seen anything else that he's ever done other than Welcome Back, Kotter. So I'm sure he's been in something else that's great. But yes, he definitely looks like that guy. And then we have the fat guy, and they thought David Ogden from Doc Hollywood and MASH. Okay.
Sure.
And then these are straight, like, just like you were saying, Chris. Dave.
Well, Letterman, that character was based on Letterman, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Ronald Reagan was based on Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah.
So there you go. That is the casting call. Now, I put down here specifically go to page 92 because we have something that we need to talk about. This is the world of movies in February of 96. I know you're a movie guy there, Chris. Can you think of anything off the top of your head that we're getting ready to jump into in 96?
Not specifically in, what is this, April?
This is February.
February.
Which most likely, this was probably put together and printed like December or maybe January or something. But
early 96, I'm not sure. Summer 96, I've got some ideas.
Okay. All right. Well, here's our first article on Trailer Park. We got Decisions 97, Bats or Dinosaurs.
So Jurassic Park, right?
The sequel. Yeah, the second one.
Forever.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Forever.
yeah, Batman Forever. That's right. So, yeah, that's our first article there.
Couple of mediocre sequels.
Not the greatest.
I give the edge to Batman Forever if we're talking head to head.
Yeah, I agree.
X-Men films, roll a 7. I do not remember what this is. This is where, okay, a string of murders patterned after the 7 deadly sins. Yeah, right. Who could have known that 7 was headed for box office 7th heaven? That it would be most powerfully uncompromising film to come out of Hollywood, while the folks behind Marvel's planned X-Men movie seem to have had a pretty good inkling a couple years back. They tapped screenwriter Andrew Kevin Walker to tackle the mutant comic adaptation. So, okay, but I don't know.
I don't believe he ends up writing the scripts.
Nah.
X-Files land in Springfield, so I'm sure there's probably a Simpsons.
Oh, a classic.
Simpsons.
The best.
Roadblock for Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider could have a hell of a ride ahead of him before he blazes onto the big screen. That's how it looked anyway when beleaguered Savoy Pictures, the company adapting the comic, announced recently that it was retreating from the movie business to concentrate on TV projects. You guys remember any buzz about a Ghost Rider film back then?
I do not.
Not unless it was mentioned in Wizard, which I don't think I had this issue. So
Okay, all right. And this last article here, actually this isn't the last one, but this last one on the page, Malibu Movie News, where they're talking the Men in Black film. And apparently Chris O'Donnell was tagged, or at least they were thinking about giving Chris O'Donnell the
Will Smith role?
Yeah, the Will Smith role. So he decided...
What a boner that would have been.
He decided not to do it because, well, I think he said something along the lines of like he didn't want to be Tommy Lee because of the Batman stuff. He didn't really want to be like typecast as a sidekick. O'Donnell's replacement in the Secret Agent film.
As a guy in successful movies.
O'Donnell's replacement in the Secret Agent film is Fresh Prince Will Smith, another very high caliber actor pick for a movie based on a book with a circulation of only 6,000. That movie does good though. Men in Black does awesome.
I love Men in Black.
Yeah, I reading the series, because the series came out in like early 1990. I had read it and done a couple episodes on it, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's just one episode. A lot more violent than the film, but it's a great concept, and it did very well. Spidey X-Men Rule. The Spider-Man and X-Men animated series continues to be a powerful 1-2 punch on Fox. So yeah, I'll agree with that. But now they're talking about Malibu is claiming strong early ratings for its Ultra Force animated series. Ultra Force! November 5th episode, which features the death of Pix. Wow.
Hey, spoilers, Jesse.
I'm sorry. Bruno gets virus. John Bruno, a longtime visual effects supervisor who's worked with James Cameron, will make his directing debut on Virus. Is that the Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, the very not great movie.
It isn't.
It's got some cool effects in it, though.
There's a point in...
I'll say that for it.
Like, when I first started watching... When DVDs became, like, a thing, and you could actually afford to get them, I can remember, like, just sitting down and watching commentaries for films that I never really thought were that good. Virus was one of them. Like, Virus had come out on DVD, and we watched the movie, and I was like, gosh, this is not a good movie. And then...
Let me find out more.
Then, find out what
went wrong when we listened to the
The commentary is, like, infinitely more interesting because you're getting behind-the-scenes discussion about what happened and how they did stuff. And I was like, I think I like this a little bit better than I actually do the film. So, yeah, I can recall those days. Kevin Sorbo as Call the Conqueror does not happen.
No, it does.
It does?
Yeah. Oh, it happened.
Never saw it, but it came out.
This came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Call the Conqueror movie, and
I remember the ads in the comics.
Wow. Well, I guess it does say it's expected to film this summer with a budget of nearly $30 million.
Yeah. 1997, starring Kevin Sorbo and Tia Carrere.
I had no clue, clearly. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, well, hey, we got short takes here. Mike Francis.
It was released on August 29th, 1997.
Wow. That's crazy. Mike Francis.
Get that through your thick call. They can't all be winners, folks.
All right.
I believe you were getting
I'm getting right there, yes. Mike Francis writing Fantastic Four script for Chris Columbus at 20th Century Fox.
I remember when that was supposed to happen. That was... exciting times. Mm-hmm. I remember reading, this would have been like the early 2000s, around the time X-Men came out. And there was like a producer or somebody was talking about a Fantastic Four movie that they couldn't get off the ground. And he had a quote that was basically like, anytime they're all in the same room together using their powers, it costs $40 million. Like, we can't, it's hard to make a movie like that. So, but then several years later, the effects got more advanced and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it says, despite rumors of a possible video release, the first Fantastic Four film remains shelved, where it's been for 2 years now. An Iron Man movie, also from Fox, is currently being passed around. Following the merger of Turner Broadcasting and Time Warner, Turner has purchased the off-network rights to Lois and Clark. It will be available, blah, blah, blah. After the sequel feature film did tremendous box office work in November, Ace Ventura Pet Detective premiered an animation with half-hour CBS holiday special on December 16th. I do not remember that.
Yeah, me neither.
I remember an Ace Ventura animated series, but maybe that was like the pilot or something.
The episode entitled The Reindeer Hunter was written by Dwayne Capizzi, who has also recently written for the Mask and Savage Dragon animated series. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say the Iron Man stuff. This would have been around the time Tom Cruise was, I think, eyeing that role.
Oh,
that
really?
Was for a long time that he wanted to do an Iron Man movie.
Interesting. And then our final one, the Gen 13 sneak peek. Although the Gen 13 animated movie isn't due out until later in 96, here's an advance peek at the animators' character designs, which are headed up by director Kevin Altieri, who had done Batman the Animated Series. You can tell, like, when you look at that. The direct-to-video movie will be an adaptation of the original Gen 13 miniseries. Enjoy this special preview. So, didn't happen, right?
It did happen. It did not get released in the States. It was released, I think, on video overseas. You can see it on YouTube now.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I think maybe...
And on Robservations, another plug for that. He's talked a few times about this and about how basically Jim Lee was putting his own money into the project to get it finished. And it might have been one of the reasons why he ended up selling Wildstorm to DC because he spent so much money on that animated
that's
movie.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've wanted to watch it for a while. I found it on YouTube a few times, but I've never actually watched it.
Well, that sounds like something we ought to do. Maybe we'll do a double
Mine
feature.
is on small screeners.
Do a double feature and watch Sleepwalker while we're at it.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my goodness, that's a call.
And call the Conqueror.
Well, that's
I don't know if we have time for all that.
Oh man, there's more Gen 13 picks there. All right. Okay, guys, are you ready? This is what we've come to the dance for. We are doing the CBIQ. Here it is. Here it is. All right, so I'm not going to pitch you two against each other, but if one of you says the
I don't
answer,
have a buzzer, so
if one of you says the answer before the other, you'll get more credit.
I'll keep score.
Oh, yes, Evan will. Well, this is a CBIQ. This time we're grading you more against the more miraculous resurrections in comics. So the higher your score, the more implausible the comeback. Look in this issue's bullpen for the answers. Are 0 to 4, your rank is Thanos. He was killed until he was dead, but then death opened a soul chest and brought him back to life. Okay. And then if you score 5 to 14, Elektra. Throat slit, run through by a sigh, bled a lot, buried, but some ninjas prayed for her, touched her forehead, and she woke up. And then if you score 15 to 19, you're Jean Grey. You got blasted to space atoms by an alien weapon, but woke up in a cocoon at the bottom of a bay. And then
Been there, done that.
if you score 20, you are a spider clone. Got blown up by a bomb or something, pronounced dead, corpse dropped down a smokestack, got better. Great job. All right, here we go. In the early days of the X-Men, which former villain did Professor X try to recruit for the X-Men? The Sandman, the Submariner, Molten Man, or Beast Boy?
Be the Submariner, right?
This is the
Sure.
early days. Early days.
He's the only one
have
who's a
the
mutant.
answers.
I do have the answers here. So the answer to number 1 is B, the Submariner. Good job. Number 2.
I'm sure that went along swimmingly.
Oh, geez. How many more questions have we got? Okay. Who allegedly killed Fairchild's dad? Was it Spawn, Grunge, Helmet, or Lynch?
I'm going to say Lynch.
Yeah, I'm going there.
I'm going to say Lynch as well.
There you go. Number 2 is Lynch. In what city was Peter Parker suspected of murder? Los Angeles, California, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, New York City, because that's where the Marvel offices are. And after the whole clone storyline, most considered it a mercy killing.
I'll guess.
I'm going to say Los Angeles.
Okay. What'd you say, Chris?
I'll just say New York.
All right. The answer to number 3 is C, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't even know that Utah existed in the Marvel Universe.
Which Marvel character does not have the super soldier formula in his or her blood? Red Skull, Diamondback, U.S. Agent, Captain America. Ooh, is this a trick question because it's
US
96?
I think it's Diamondback.
Okay. Number 4, the answer is C, U.S. Agent.
Oh, I thought he had like a... U.S. Agent got his powers from the Power Broker, right?
I don't.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm less surprised that U.S. Agent didn't have it than I am that Diamondback did. But I got to say, I don't know much about Diamondback.
All right. Number 5, Despero's mind was taken over by Bloodwind, L. Ron Hubbard, L. Ron Furman. Oh,
Elron.
you got a guess there, Chris?
Oh, well, those all the options?
That was it.
I'll say Bloodwind.
Okay. The answer is, for number 5, is B, Elron. Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
He was part of Justice League Task Force or something. It's like Despero, and Elron's that little snarky robot that Maxwell Lord employed.
No idea. No idea that was going on. Now, get ready. Number 6, who manages Springfield's Quickie Mart? Is it Apu Nahasa Pima Patilion? Apu Napima Hasolo Nipet? Apu Mahuga Visaratas? Or D, Barney Gumble?
I would have to see. I would have to
Wait,
get to zoom in.
Zoom in a little bit here.
Are we even allowed to talk about him anymore?
Oh boy, this is 96. Things were different.
I'm not saying they shouldn't
A.
have changed it, but
You're going. Chris is going with A. You have...
I still can't read it, but I was going to say A as well.
Yeah, the answer is A.
All right.
Nice job. Nice job. Was that like you knew, Chris? Like that's definitely it?
I couldn't tell from the episode that they said his name.
All right, got it.
I couldn't pronounce it either properly.
Patelin. All right. Number 7. On his very first outing as a superhero, the Shroud first tried to defeat what supervillain? The Hangman, Dr. Doom, the Scorpion, the Kingpin.
I'll go Kingpin.
Okay.
I will say Dr. Doom, because I believe he debuted in Supervillain Team Up.
Who is the Shroud again?
He's this dude that, like, I don't know, he looks like if a white guy was cosplaying as Cloak, and he used to, like, pretend to... I always heard that he pretended to be a villain, but really he was just going around going, like, remember, guys, I'm pretending to be a villain. That's all I ever read.
Okay.
He's from Turin, isn't he?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Jeezy, criminy. I'm sitting here, I'm like...
Well, I see my services are no longer needed here.
Had to get into Evan's soup.
Yeah, come on. The correct answer, according to number 7 here, is D, the Kingpin.
What?
It's
Booyah.
That's what it
I
says.
demand a recount.
That's what it says. All right.
After all the extensive Shroud knowledge that I just demonstrated, you're going to believe the
half a point.
answer key.
All right.
Well, he's a guy who did stuff.
Number 8. Evil Ernie's dad belonged to what superhero group? Evil Ernie, the Masters of Evil, the Sentinels of Justice, the Agents of Thunder, or the Revengers?
I'll say Sentinels of Justice because I think all the others are
Yeah, it's like Marvel stuff.
in real comics.
Right.
I don't know. The Revengers I didn't think happened until later. I'm going to go with the Revengers.
All right. Number 8 is D, the Revengers. There it is. All
Okay.
right.
All right. The less I know, the better my odds.
Number 9, who once hired Lobo to snuff Santa? Oh boy. Is it Darkseid? B, the Easter Bunny? C, Vril Dox. He thinks Santa's not logical. D, the ACLU, because Santa's not multicultural. Eesh. Eesh.
I know
Easter
this
Bunny?
one, so
Yeah.
I'm going to
will
guess
second
the Easter
that.
Bunny.
Very good. Yep, it is the Easter Bunny. The Easter
This is going
Bunny.
to shock you guys. I'm not a big Lobo fan.
Which X-Man was also a defender and a champion? I think I know this one. Is it A, Beast, B, Iceman, C, Wolverine, or D, Jubilee? I am going to
I
go...
think it's Iceman.
Is it Iceman? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to go with...
it is Iceman.
I was going to go with Beast. And,
Beast wasn't a champion.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is.
He was a defender and avenger, but he was not a champion. Because at first I was like, I was like, oh, it was Beast, and I'm like, wait a minute, Iceman was a champion and a defender.
There it is. Number 10 is B. Good job.
Cool.
Number 11, which Avengers were recently killed in Avengers: The Crossing? This isn't a very well-received book, right? Like, people do not like... Is it The Crossing that gets...
Yeah, I mean, I heard it called the worst Avengers story ever.
Okay, all right.
I've always kind of wanted to read it.
Well,
I've heard of it, but I've never read it.
Yeah.
I read about it. I didn't actually read it. I had the impression, fairly or unfairly, that they wanted to X-Menify the Avengers.
Okay. Well, our options are Cersei and Gilgamesh. B is Cersei and the Black Knight. C is Yellow Jacket and Gilgamesh. D is Mockingbird and Thunderstrike.
I'm going to say Cersei and Gilgamesh.
Okay.
I'm going to say Yellow Jacket and Gilgamesh.
All right. Number 11. The answer is C, Yellow Jacket and Gilgamesh.
I was waiting for Death Cry. I'm pretty sure she died too.
It's on Marvel Unlimited.
Okay.
Evan.
Hey, that sounds like an unspoken epic.
Oh,
Boy.
could be.
Or we could always just do Ravage 2099.
I don't know if that belongs in the epic category.
Number 12. Who animated Prime Evil? Is it Necromantra, Ghoul, Lady Death, or Rune? With the aid of them swell Rune Gem things.
I'll let Evan take a stab at it.
I'm going to say Rune.
Okay.
Leave it as Necromantra.
And the
That
correct
was
answer.
my second guess.
Correct answer, number 12, is Necromantra.
Either her or Ghoul. I was pretty sure it wasn't Lady Death.
Correct.
You guys can't see, but I just gave myself a point. I did not get that one right.
Yeah, we're going to be at the end of this, and Evan's like, I got 20. That's amazing.
Come on. 19.
Which hero has never been a police officer? Spawn, Captain America, the Savage Dragon, or the Guardian DC version? I'm going to go with Spawn. Spawn.
Yeah, I think it's Spawn.
Spawn.
That's what I was thinking.
All right. So number 13. The answer is A. Spawn. Okay.
When was Savage Dragon a cop?
I have no idea.
I know.
I have no idea. That is funny. Whose gams are longer? Fairchild's, Rainmakers, Free Falls, or Stiltman's?
Well, if we're talking mechanically enhanced,
right.
It's got to be Stiltman.
It's got to be Stiltman.
Stiltman.
All right. Number 14, the answer is D. Stiltman.
Of course, and this was before the existence of Lady Stiltman.
Oh, goodness. All right. Duly noted. Number 15, which Image character teamed up with the heroes of 1963? Was it Wildstar, Shadowhawk, Prophet, or Brandon Choi?
I'm sure I get the joke. I know there is one there, but
I think it was Shadowhawk.
I believe it is Shadowhawk.
Yeah, I think it is too. 15 is B, Shadowhawk. All right, moving on here to question 16. When choosing a new name, why did Spider-Man go with Ben Reilly? It was the name of the burglar who killed his uncle. That was the name the Jackal pre-programmed into his mind so he could find him even if he kept his Spider-Man identity low profile. C is Ben for his Uncle Ben and Riley for his Aunt May's maiden name. And then D is Peter Parker's middle name is Benjamin, and he was born in Riley, New York. All right, I feel like it's C. All right, so 16, the answer is C. That is correct. All right, which of the following is the Punisher's arch nemesis? Deathstroke the Terminator, Ravager, Jigsaw, Reverse Punisher.
Well, as much as I would love to see Reverse Punisher, I believe it's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I believe that's correct.
Yep, the answer is C, Jigsaw.
Mr. Breaking the Law, who wants a hug?
Reverse Punisher. What Vertigo character once belonged to the Justice League? Animal Man, Swamp Thing, Sandman, Robot Man. It's got to be A, right?
I mean, at this point,
it was A. Now they've all been in the Justice League.
Okay. All right, so
I'll say A. And
we're going to go in with A. Yes, the correct answer is A. 19. Which of these heroes was able to lift Thor's hammer? Oh, well, this is... Jeez, he crimed me.
Speaking of things that were only true at this time.
Spider-Man, Hercules, Captain America, the Hulk when he was really, really mad.
Captain America.
You said, did you say B?
No, I said C.
Okay. Yes, the correct answer is C. All right, and finally, why is Violator so obsessed with killing Spawn? Is it the only way he'll be allowed back into heaven? B, it's a comic book. What other reason does he need? C, he's jealous because he wanted to be chosen as Spawn. Or D, he's a big Peter David fan. That's a good one.
I'll say C.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say too.
That's the correct answer. It is C.
The old jealousy.
Yep. Always. What'd you get, Evan?
I think I got 16.
All right. Did you keep score for?
I did not keep track.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
got
No,
19.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right.
I had trouble keeping track of my score.
Chris got 19. He said.
I got one more than Chris.
Oh, one more than Chris. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good job. Good job. Guys.
2 more than you.
All right. That is our discussion on Mr. Miracle number 1. Evan Bevins, why don't you let the people know where they can find Asterisk 51 and all the other stuff you do?
If you like my ideas but hate the sound of my voice, you can check out my blog, asterisk51.blogspot.com. Been on a little bit of a hiatus trying to build up some content, but getting ready before too long to start. I don't write a lot about Marvel movies because I pretty much love almost all of them. But my daughter was wanting to go through and rewatch a bunch of stuff leading up to Doomsday and Secret Wars. So I'm going to start working my way through those. And whatever oddball comic things catch my attention, you can check those out. I've read through the entirety of Secret Defenders and NFL Super Pro, so you don't have to, but honestly, you probably should. They're just a lot of fun. What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm out.
Working my way through Ravage 2099 because some platforms won't give it its due. not naming names, but Jesse and I get together once a month for Snap material, about monthly or so, over on the Magazines and Monsters podcast. Me and Billy D and Ed Moore get together to talk Marvel fanfare. So a kind of unique spotlight series from the early 80s where we met Man-Spider and a very special Daredevil Christmas story and all kinds of good stuff.
Very cool. All right, Chris Armstrong, tell them everything about small screeners and Because Movies.
Yeah, I got a couple of movie podcasts I do with my friend AJ. We talk about small screeners, direct-to-video, and made-for-TV movies. There's some comic-centric stuff on there, like we talked about the 89 Punisher movie. We talked about the Justice League New Frontier movie and some other stuff. Also, we have one called Because Movies, where we kind of just talk about whatever we want movie-wise. So you can find those on your podcatcher of choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out the Source Material Comics podcast feed. You get this show right here, Unspoken Issues. As we continue on next month, we have let's see. I've got the polls actually right here. So if you get a chance, well, heck, yeah, this will be airing tomorrow. So if you want to let your voice be heard, we've got 4 choices. We got Venom the Hunted #1, and this is happening in March. So Venom the Hunted #1. We have Hitman #1. I know that Chris Armstrong wants to talk Garth Ennis. So he loves him. And then we have Dart #1. Which really, really don't think that's going to win. But hey, it's up there. It's an Image comic at #1. And from what I heard, it's not really good. Star Wars Tales from Mos Eisley #1 is our Dark Horse choice. So if you get a chance, go out, check that out. Go check out the Unspoken Decade Facebook page where you can find that poll and vote. Or go check out the Unspoken Issues podcast Facebook page, and you can vote there. That's where we put the poll at. And then, of course, the Source Material Comics podcast, where me and Mark Radlich and other people get together and we talk comics of any era. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. And then that, I believe, is that. We are getting out of here. Over there is Evan Bevins. Down there is Chris Armstrong. I'm Jesse Starcher. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a good one. Bye-bye.